say about his play style, though, today? I mean, what are we anticipating to see from a player in tomservo?
You know, I've watched a few matches with our head of eSports over here at 0-4, and I've seen him play Rafa a little bit. And he plays solid. He's really pushes these top-level players. Again, it's because he's a long-time Quake player. Just consistent decision-making. You can tell he has that familiarity with the things about Quake, running items, item management, and putting himself in good position to get frags.
And probably going to go a long way in terms of confidence. And the most confident man in the building is standing by to bring you that action right now. We've got Blue and my man Jahar over there.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much, Stunna, and it is almost time now to start our third series of the day here for DueL. It's going to be Astroboy taking on tomservo, and I now have Jahar with me. How you doing, man?
Oh, getting nervous for all these guys. I mean, there's a lot of money on the line, there's a lot of stress on the line, and a lot of online play coming from these guys. I mean, tomservo and Astroboy being able to play from the comfort of their own homes is, you know, you could maybe call that advantage, but there's still the internet to contend with, and as Machiavelli was referring to, playing from Australia is no easy job.
Yeah, that's certainly not going to help anyone's case under those circumstances here, but we are started now, folks. We jump into the game, and we want to take a look at Astroboy to start things off. He's going to be our blue player. tomservo is going to be over on the red side. And a pretty balanced comp for both sides there. Astroboy a little bit squishier, hasn't gone for any of the tank champions. Servo does still have the Sorlag in there, so we have that nice second spawn that we often see the tank character used for, but looks like the fight's getting started here. And at the moment, Astroboy in a rough patch. Only going to be able to save himself via the stealth.
Absolutely, and of course with Nyx being so weak, it's a lot of work on Blood Run to be able to get those weapons, get those stack items, and sometimes it means giving up that initial mega or armor just to be able to have that one pop advantage play against a player like Anarchy. I mean, be able to go Ghost Walk and get all that damage in is so useful. So Astroboy, again, still kind of playing things a little bit slowly, but making sure that he's up on rockets and rails and ready to do the damage.
They do spot each other for a moment. There's a little bit of damage being exchanged, mainly coming out from Astroboy. He's going to be careful with his rails here. He's going to run out in a second. I think he realized that. So over to the rockets now. He's just going to leap into this fight. Tagged by a rail shot, though, seconds before. But the good news is this was a very weighted, aggressive play. As he used this to be able to move in, get good control over the mega health, and now he can move back in. He did miss the armor pickup, but at the very least he got one of the two, so he's still keeping partial control over the map right now.
Incredibly risky play there on the mega health, but it paid off perfectly for Astroboy. Of course, playing as Nyx, you're never going to be able to hold on to that mega health or mega armor for very long, but a little bit of advantage goes a long way. Neither of these characters can go very long in a rail fight without going down, but Astroboy playing forward a little bit more here, looking for a bit more aggression on tomservo, and tomservo is actually having to back up, but it's going to be a big fight over the mega, going Ghost Walk immediately as tomservo gets the pickup, but not the damage just yet, as the LG comes flying out of Astroboy, looking for that first frag, not quite getting it just yet, but certainly scaring him off of the armor, and finally getting that last fadeaway rail.
And there's the shots from Astroboy, finally locking out tomservo to get that first kill. Just under 2 minutes when we see that one happen, so still plenty of time for Servo to get revenge. Try to trade that back a little bit to bring us down into a 2v2. Astroboy's still going to be working on the Nyx, he's relatively squishy, as now Servo goes over to the Sorlag, but that's not going to last very long if Astroboy is allowed to just chain spam the LG. Completely melts tomservo's second character, and now he's onto a Nyx as well, so we're right back into the squishy fight.
That's not easy as well. When you know that a Sorlag is going to be coming after you, it is a do or die moment, and having that opportunity with the LG, Astroboy took full advantage of that. Now it's going to be Nyx on Nyx, but of course, we're just over halfway through the match, but tomservo has to make 2 frags in order to make this round anywhere near a possibility for him. So coming down into lower armor, we have Astroboy immediately taking a rail. That's going to put him on the back foot for a little bit longer. He's going to need armor, he's going to need some of those health orbs.
And so for Astroboy here, now trying to leap back down, but for the right situation to jump in and engage. Oh, he did get hit by that rocket. It takes quite a bit of damage too.
Now it's dangerous because both of them are now in a place where they cannot afford a rail, and we just barely saw Astroboy not get pegged by that last one. But as armor comes up, it's going to be risky, but my god, this rocket coming out of nowhere. Beautifully reacted, and a good round for Astroboy.
Great speed to get into that fight too. As you saw, he was leaping back in. There wasn't going to be a whole lot of sound cues that he was pushing back in, so he jumps into the room, spins around, and already has his opponent locked down into a corner there as he's trying to pick up the full armor. So it's an easy rocket shot to hit when he finally gets a surprise engagement, and he gets the third kill. And we're going to go right back into combat now into the second round. Look at this from Astroboy. Using the stealth to stay behind his opponent. He's over to the gauntlet. He misses it though, and now he's going to switch back over. Servo's trying to figure out what's going on, but he's not given the time to react. So Astroboy is once again going to get the first kill here.
Having that initial hit with the gauntlet, I mean, such aggression coming out of him, and at that point you know, okay, my opponent's on the ropes. He doesn't know what's going on. He just got hit by a bladed fist. You never want that. So Astroboy now able to enjoy this 1 frag advantage here a little bit. But we do have tomservo moving back over to Anarchy. As we've seen, he's already very aggressive here, and he has all the ability to do that.
And so for AstroBoy, holding back a little bit as he tries to recover slightly, but not for too long. He's trying to bait his opponent into getting aggressive, and it's a good thing that Servo built up some of his health. As you saw, they got the mitter metal and everything going there now. But so AstroBoy, he tries to wait. Unfortunately, he can't cancel the stealth while you're in it, so they'd end up having to lose the armor on that pickup there. Didn't get an opportunity to telefrag either, as the timing did not work out for him.
Lost the armor, but he managed to hold on to his life there. I mean, that could have been really nasty if tomservo figured out what was up. But now AstroBoy can go on the backside of the map here a little bit, try to spam off a few of these corners, look for some of these rail shots. But again, both of them are going to need a clean exit, and AstroBoy doesn't have quite as much stack to work with. But as the Mega comes back up, tomservo is going to be able to get that fairly cleanly, as AstroBoy is looking for this armor. Still a little bit early, and he ends up getting punished for that, taking one rail, and he's got to be really careful on his exit here. He's going to be looking for tomservo out of the teleporter, and manages to donk him with the rocket, keeping him off his back.
80 damage being done right there, so that's definitely going to help to keep tomservo a little bit more even with AstroBoy's own health pool here. He knows he's going to be jumping down as well. Misses the rail shot over to the rockets, do a little bit of damage here. As you see, tomservo going to hit up a little bit, tagged again. tomservo was in a rough patch.
Nice.
Did return some of the damage, but AstroBoy's still in an okay spot right now. So Servo's going to be very careful, as he is down to his basic health. That's why he's running around just going for the default armor pickups. There's a bit of a range here now for the Mega, but Servo gets the bounce, knocks his opponent away, but unfortunately, wrong weapon choice there is not on the LG, so he can't continue to hit those rocket shots, and AstroBoy, well, he can, so he gets the second kill now.
I love this matchup because you have so many of these items just being given up as both players are looking for a better opportunity, but when both players are committed to the armor and already jumping for it, you've got to think and frag fast, and now we have tomservo down to only his Nyx. He's got to make something happen here, but so far with that rail, he's definitely got AstroBoy up against the ropes here a little bit. Not sure if he has the room or the timing to make the fight happen immediately, so he's just going to enjoy the fact that AstroBoy will not be showing up on these items and taking full control.
And AstroBoy now is going to be a little bit careful with the engagement. Back at shotgun to the face. Both of them going to pop stealth at the same time, and I believe they both go their separate ways too. Oh no, actually, a last-second dive from Servo coming into the fight there, and he gets a bit of more revenge there, bringing it down to a 1v2.
There aren't too many places to get that 50 health, and both players had the same place in mind, and it got really nasty there. But tomservo, he's got this Mega here, and he has the ability to put some pressure on this armor, so things could go well for him. He actually teleports out in front of AstroBoy, cutting him off, doing some damage, and taking the armor as well. Now that AstroBoy is actually up top, it's really difficult to force that fight and push forward, but tomservo is going to be looking for the rail angle.
And AstroBoy trying to be a little bit more careful here. tomservo just going into stealth, and I don't think AstroBoy realizes that he's sitting back over there inside of the rocket room just yet. Sees him now, though, and a nice little flick onto the rail shot as AstroBoy connects that. Servo still looking to keep himself alive, and he's going to be brought down low. Over two quick rails from him, and now he gets his own second kill. This goes down to a 1v1. It's going to be an Anarchy versus a Nyx. Sudden death to claim round two, and it could be a quick sudden death, as old tomservo had a great lineup. He's able to get the kill anyway. Needed a second attempt on the rail there, but he still cleaned it up quite nicely as he pulls off the complete reversal down to a 1v3 all the way to absolute victory.
This is a fight. These guys are both, you know, they're being incredibly intelligent with each other. They're giving themselves space when they know that that they kind of need to back off, but at the same time, when they know that an item will make or break the next minute for them, they both fully commit.
Again, there's a little bit of combat happening early on. AstroBoy actually does get it head-on rocket there for 100 damage, and another 50 coming out there too, so Servo's got to be a little bit careful, or he might lose a champion right at the start of the round again. And almost a great prediction. Over to the rail, connects that shot there, and then another hit, as AstroBoy is going to be able to claim the first kill once again, quickly taking down Servo's first champion. He's going to look for more rail shots to connect onto that second frag quickly if he can. He's already knocked out his armor that he picked up initially, but AstroBoy now even going to be able to hop back in, getting himself the full armor. And for Servo, he's still looking to hunt out AstroBoy, but he's at a pretty big disadvantage right now, so he can't get too aggressive.
Yeah, losing that Anarchy right off the bat is never fun, but he's already making good use of the sword-like spit, doing a lot of damage, also giving a lot of information on where AstroBoy is headed here. So he's got him up against the ropes a little bit, looking for that shot with the rail, but it looks like AstroBoy's using the Ghost Walk defensively, but he sticks around for the fight. But of course, when you're sword-like, you are just a magnet for all that LG and every single cell connected there.
I don't think Servo heard the stealth pop either, because it was just out of his range to be able to actually properly hear that. So he didn't catch that he jumped into the stealth there, and he ended up losing that because he didn't realize that it had happened. So now this goes down to another 3v1. Now Servo was able to turn this around last time in the previous round. We'll have to see if he can do it again here, because he's lost his first two champions in, you know, the first minute of the round. He certainly can't be feeling too confident about himself right now. He's going to have to get some of that back to be able to re-engage properly. And actually knock out this Nyx again.
Neither player wanted that fight in upper small armor, so we're going to be seeing AstroBoy head back up to the catwalk, looking for mostly not the hit so much, but just information on where tomservo is moving. But oh man, that rocket is going to change the pace of everything. He's going to be up here, and AstroBoy didn't actually know about it. One more hit would have done it for either of them, but man, that was incredibly risky for AstroBoy there, as tomservo will be getting away with both the armor and the Mega. Surely happy to have full stack control.
AstroBoy pretty low on ammo for most of his power weapons here too. He's onto the rail right now. He just doesn't have any LG ammo left over, so it actually gives Servo a pretty easy time to run right up with the shotgun, closing out on that kill for himself. And there's the first trade. 2 more to go now.
All right, but it's going to be all about this play with the Dire Orbit. Does a little bit of damage, but doesn't quite commit the frag, as AstroBoy is going to be looking for an opportunity down below. The armor's still up, and it's actually been denied once again. 2 rails will make a 3rd frag for AstroBoy.
And there we go. Finally completes it. Is not going to get upset this time on a 3v1 reversal. A few mistakes from tomservo there at the end. Was unable to complete that jump to get the armor, so he does end up falling down there, losing it out. And with that, we do see a 2nd round claimed.
All right, but as we go into round 3 here, we're going to be seeing AstroBoy start off on top with Nyx v Nyx here once again. But immediately the armor's taken away, Mega taken by tomservo. It's going to be all about weapons at this point. AstroBoy has to wonder if he's already got a rocket launcher. He knows that he doesn't have one though, so tomservo can push forward a little bit here. He can space off a little bit with the rail, but if things get up close and personal, AstroBoy will be at a real disadvantage. And now that tomservo's gone Ghost Walk, AstroBoy's gotta get out of there.
It's a rough rail play, man.
Yeah, a lot of whiffs there.
Well, I think they both ended up hitting 1, and that was enough to force each other to back up. AstroBoy trying to dive back in. First initial connection comes out from tomservo. AstroBoy is forced into stealth. He wanted to stay up on top to keep the fight there, but opponent backed away. Did not want to continue taking it at close range here. And now AstroBoy almost had ammo for the rails, but thankfully the spawn for them is pretty close by, so we should be able to easily roll in and pick up some ammo for it.
And finally, he's been able to get a grab of that rocket launcher. And if you're going to be out of rails, you better have rockets for sure. But AstroBoy going to be looking at the teleport a little bit. Nope, just getting rail ammo, making sure that he's ready to do some damage on this heavy armor pickup. If not, go for the grab itself. But as he gets through the teleporter, it's going to be committal pretty soon here as the armor comes back up. A lot of spam going either way. There's the Ghost Walk. He's got to know he's up there. tomservo didn't figure it out though. And here comes the LG. He's dropped down. A rail would do it. And he's still going to have a lot of trouble crossing that gap to the teleporter to get back into relative safety. But no place is safe on this map as AstroBoy is sneaking around looking for tomservo at upper armor.
AstroBoy's still pretty low on rail armor, or rail ammo too, so he's got to make sure he actually moves around and try to find an actual ammo pickup, as he's only got a 5 to work off of right now. So that's not going to last very long if they end up in these very long fights that we were seeing before towards the beginning of this round. We've got to be a little bit careful with the way he plays this. Right now moving up, he knows the armor spawn's coming back in. Well, Servo's not even really going to choose the challenge then. He's going to completely back away from it and reset.
And tomservo, knowing that he's very close to losing out this run on Blood Run, is being a little bit more conservative, playing a little bit more plus back, a little bit more defensive, and that means that AstroBoy is doing exactly the right thing. Setting up a trap, you can't play defensive against what you don't know. And AstroBoy getting a little bit of damage with the shotgun. It could have easily been more, but I'm sure that's going to be making tomservo sweat.
And AstroBoy, again, trying to hunt down his opponent here. He's being quiet about it. You can see him sneaking around. He's actually going to have a pretty good advantage here with the shotgun, but completely denied by Servo. Nicely found the shotgun to the face. That's going to end AstroBoy's run right there.
Who was making the trap there? Holy crap. I mean, that was a really split-second play there on the shotgun. Just perfect timing, coming around the corner, and blam. Boom goes the dynamite, and boom goes AstroBoy as he's 1 frag down. Fortunately, he's got Ranger now. He can play off a little bit more aggressively here with that Dire Orb especially. But he's got to find tomservo and take him down. tomservo, though, is really cycling these items really kind of consistently. Finding out where tomservo's at shouldn't be too much work for AstroBoy.
Yeah, now he's going to try to leave. He did miss the full armor pickup, but look at this. He's got his opponent in the corner. He's only got a shotgun. He switches over to the shotgun, too, there, since he runs out of ammo on his LG ammo. But still, did some great damage. Pretty much made the armor pickup a bit of a moot point.
And as that goes down, it's going to be a bit of maybe a rough fight here. Oh, looking for the 1 rail, and 1 is all you really need to really put tomservo on the back foot. He can't stick around here on the Mega. It's still 15 seconds away, but AstroBoy has effectively scared him off of it. tomservo's just going to be splashing down in the blood, getting a little bit of that healing, but he's going to need a lot more to be able to take a rail.
Servo knows that the opponent just went for the pickup there, trying to work things with the super nail gun, but not a lot of connections, unfortunately. Not as well in the tracking there as we saw DeHang earlier playing it. So he's going to have to try and get back over here to get that Mega Health pickup. Thankfully, his opponent's not really contesting for that, so tomservo was able to jump on that and get it pretty much for free.
Ooh.
Still has to find a better position to re-engage here, though. He's in a bit of a tough spot right now.
And let's go back to your point about ammo. I mean, he pushed forward there, he whipped out the railgun, but realized, wait, I don't have any bolts here. This is no good. So tomservo, I mean, he stole the one frag up. If he can hold off this last minute, he will at least be able to take this round away. But as he goes in for the armor, it's going to be a bit of a whiff on the dire orb. It does not connect, and that's going to be an aggressive ghost walk play. 3 seconds to Mega coming up, and tomservo's looking over it. He's got a bit of that stack left over from the armor, so he can fully commit to this fight. Look for the damage, look for the item maybe, but he's just going to be looking for the rail trades. Make that 2 rails for the price of none. tomservo just did an insane amount of damage, and even with the Mega health taken away, AstroBoy is in dire straits.
Yeah, the Mega health doesn't really seem to make much of a difference. It just keeps AstroBoy alive here now, as he's only on his health pool for the most part. Picked up 1 small armor, so he has that to play off of here now, but Servo wasn't even on the rail at first there, so he missed what could have been a free opening shot, what now could have been a kill, and now he's on the run. Only 30 seconds left. He needs to get back in that fight, otherwise he's going to lose this round on the timer.
And that was really good conservative play out of tomservo there. He had Ghost Walk pop back up. He had a little bit of stack left over. He could have actually pushed forward up the stairs and try to get some free damage, but he thinks, oh, maybe I should look at the clock. I've only got 10 seconds. I don't need to do anything here. I just need to survive.
It's a nice rail. Unfortunately, now he jumps into the portal, but his opponent's right next to him. However, still making the run. I think he realizes at this point that there's no way he's going to make the comeback happen. So it'll end up on the timer, and we'll be tied now at 2-2, going to a sudden death round 5 to decide the map.
I wasn't expecting a match between 2 players playing, you know, across continents, across the oceans, especially in Australia. I mean, they have such a dedicated fan base for everything Quake. They've always had a lot of really strong showings at a lot of these events. But it's not easy playing online like this. But this comes down to a 5th round, a tiebreaker here on Blood Run.
AstroBoy ends up in that tight corner again as he tries to go for the full armor pickup. He'll get it, but doesn't end up with much in excess, unfortunately, after he takes the fight. And now gets hit by a rail, too, so his armor's completely gone. Just have his health pool to work off of here. If he gets hit by the rail again, he's going to be a dead man here unless he can get some armor going for himself. So we got to be very careful. Thankfully, the rocket work was enough to push Servo back for a couple seconds. So he's going to be trying to wrap back around to get some of his own pickups here. And well, there's a nice stump that comes back in. I think AstroBoy reads into that one really well, too. He tries to lock into him, but unfortunately, none of the rockets connecting. So Servo is allowed to quickly switch over to the LG. And because of the fact that AstroBoy was just had his basic health, it was pretty easy to melt down that health pool.
And it was really good LG regardless, but there's 1 free rail off the spawn onto AstroBoy, so that Ranger is going to be immediately a little bit in the danger zone as tomservo is looking to scout the map, look for another fight, but he's still got to be careful. That Mega, that armor does not last very long on Nyx. But of course here we've also seen a few change-ups in who they start with champion-wise, and that also means that the initial plays are going to have to be felt out a little bit more and aren't quite as obvious.
Really good little slight delay on the rockets there from tomservo. You saw he was spamming them straight up before, and he almost gets hit by the Dara right there, but he stopped spamming them for just a small little second so that his opponent would feel safe to move back out, and then he was able to connect. Unfortunately, didn't seem to matter much as AstroBoy moves in, wins this fight out anyway, but it was still a nice little move he did to get his opponent into the fight and do some good initiating damage.
All right, well, at least this round is not going to go to a Nyx v Nyx overtime. I mean, they're both out of here for both AstroBoy and tomservo, but we do have Sorlag back in the mix here as AstroBoy is looking for a potential dire orb. He's got it ready. He's got rockets as well. He goes wide on it, and he's walked into the acid, and that acid, with the nice helping hand of that machine gun, will pull him down.
So tomservo claims yet another kill, but he's 1 more away from taking map 1 here, just to knock out the Anarchy for AstroBoy, and he'll win it out. He still has his own Anarchy along with his Sorlag still to play off of, so Servo in a pretty good position. Got to be a little bit careful up through that portal as he takes some damage, but thankfully he's eating up the Mega health. I believe he's still working with the full armor there too, control over that one, so he's got quite a bit to stack off of here, and despite AstroBoy just dominating right now, it's not going to matter, but oh, a last-second reversal from AstroBoy. It was down at about 15 HP, and that last rail saves his own life and buys him the time he needs to get the injection, but he's still in the hot seat here, as now his opponent's respawn, and he's relatively low at about 50 HP, but he's trying to chase down that kill. That's a mistake, though, as unfortunately his opponent's going to very quickly take him down there.
How quickly that went. I mean, really good calm under pressure there. When you get popped up with a rocket and you're down to 17 health, you're in a bad place, absolutely. And especially choosing to stick with the rail. If you miss that rail, you're not only dead, you won't even have the chance to do anything else for the next second. I mean, it's a really nasty play, but really, really good response, really fantastic play, and tomservo will be going forward to QuakeCon.
Now, of course, will only be first map being played out there, so.
Well, maybe I get ahead of myself here a little bit. Yeah.
Calm down a little
bit. I'm just feeling the excitement from tomservo there. I mean, that one lasted a long time. It felt like an entire series. We had all 5 rounds going to play there, and of course, that just being Blood Run, we're going to be going into the next one very soon here.
Yeah, and we're already going to be jumping into Blood Covenant as our second map here. So move from Blood Run over to Blood Covenant, the quintessential Quake dueling map that we've seen so far. One of the first maps added to the beta. The players have had plenty of time. A much larger map overall, probably one of the bigger duel maps. It's that one in Sarnath that tends to be on the larger side of the pools there. So expect a lot of very long range, like corridor duels with the rails throughout the course of this map.
Not only is it large, you have the major items, the health and the armor, at opposite ends of the map. So you're going to see both players kind of, holding to their own sort of base a little bit sometimes. And what you're going to be looking for is when those item timers really start to get not matched up, but kind of split. So you have 15 seconds between each item. That's when you have the opportunity for one or the other player to get full control and start to dictate the pacing of all these fights.
Yeah, and of course, we might see some of the compositions get changed up here, too, in the draft as well. Some of these players may want to try to go to a little bit more of a tankier lineup just to kind of buff themselves a bit more to allow them to make those aggressive moves to take control over the power-ups and split the timers in their favor. But actually, from looking at it right now as they're doing it off screen, it actually looks like they pretty much stayed the same going into this. And I think one player actually switched away from one of his tankier champions and just a straight kind of middle-of-the-line lineup for all three.
I don't hate that. I mean, there's a lot of work you can do just with long-range rails where you're not really getting committed to the close-range fight. Things aren't going to get quite as nasty with the LG and rockets. And, as long as you keep yourself in a spot where you can get out of that fight for free without taking potentially another rail, that's totally fine.
Clutch has proven to be a really popular champion on this map too.
Absolutely.
We're not going to see one here, unfortunately, but we saw that in our first matchup actually, where I think it was who was Cardis playing first? My memory is escaping me right now.
Pitt.
Yeah, Pitt there was really good with how aggressive he was able to play. Specifically, he was really good about timing it well too. There was quite a few instances on this map where right up on top of where if we're in Sacrifice where the power would normally spawn, he's able to just leap in there, trap his opponent in the corner. Especially if he has rockets and the shield up, he could easily dominate that fight time after time again.
Yeah, Clutch is a bully, especially a strong pick against a Nyx when you know that she doesn't have that Ghost Walk available and just has no out. If you're put in a situation where you're looking for that Mega, you're looking for that armor, and you cannot physically run away from that fight, Clutch will be on top of you incredibly quickly.
All right, guys, well, it is time for our second map here now. tomservo has the advantage, 1-0 at this point. So if he can win this second map, and he is now going to be moving on to QuakeCon. For AstroBoy, this is his last chance now to retaliate. Otherwise, he's going to have to battle things out from the lower bracket and hope to come back from there.
Absolutely. So AstroBoy moving forward very quickly here. It's going to be, again, a Nyx v Anarchy situation, which, as you can see, is an explosive combo for sure. We are down to 1 HP for AstroBoy here as we're looking for him to get a little bit of recovery. But down here at the pillars, it's not going to be coming anytime soon. But there comes the first frag from that Anarchy.
AstroBoy kind of losing track of things towards the end of it there. Didn't realize that his opponent actually jumped down, and it even took Servo a second to move in and get that kill. So things got very chaotic, as you can see. And that's part of the game here. You have to keep track of all this chaos and make sense of it as a player here in the 1v1 to be able to win it out, outwit your opponent. And that's exactly what AstroBoy, or excuse me, what tomservo was able to do there by picking up that first kill. Now AstroBoy on the ropes, and we can see right there is a great example of the aggression coming in and taking control of the power-up. Servo just dominating AstroBoy right now, pushing him into a corner. That was almost another rail shot connecting to get that second kill, and he's still not safe. If he gets tapped at all really by anything at this point, he's dead.
Rails coming out of tomservo left and right, just doing an intense amount of damage, and there's the final nail in the coffin there, at least knocking him down to Anarchy. So it's going to be Anarchy v Anarchy, but as you can see, tomservo not only has the items, so he's also got the item timing split, so he's going to be able to run around the map, go from here at armor, back over to Mega, but who needs that when you can just make rails 10 times in a row?
I mean, that second 1v1 was just a peekaboo there for him. Everywhere that his opponent tried to go, the second he went through a crosshaul, bam, just getting hit by another rail. That happened like 2 or 3 times. There was just nowhere to run. AstroBoy was given 0 chances to recover his health throughout the course of that round there, so really good aggressive play from tomservo to keep the heat on for the entire course of that round and very quickly win it out.
But it looks like AstroBoy still wants to stick with Nyx as his first pick here. We're going to have to see what kind of tricks he has up his sleeves here. But tomservo, moving back in with Anarchy, is going to be able to get the armor. We have Mega, of course, in the hands of AstroBoy, but it's going to come down to these rails once again. And tomservo is just looking for one brief little shot before trying to get timing on one of these items. However, right now they're synced. It's going to be a play for one or the other, and both of these players need to figure that out.
AstroBoy hanging out now up on top of the rocket spawn, nicely using the double jump there that you can do off the walls on the Nyx as well to get quickly across the map there. Was looking like he wanted to try and go for a closer fight against tomservo, but canceled at the last second. Really didn't have the health or armor to take that fight, and now we end up in a close engagement here. Thankfully, AstroBoy did get that Mega armor because it was going to be able to keep alive for a few seconds. Unfortunately, was at a really disadvantageous position to play off of that one, so it did let tomservo still get the kill. And now he's going to quickly try to chase down a second one again here, and there you go. Just straight LG spam. He's on a killing spree now. 5 kills straight for him. He's in side once.
This can get incredibly nasty if Astroboy can't slow things down here a little bit, but when it's Anarchy v Anarchy, as you said, it's total chaos. It's very difficult to pump the Braves on the map. But right now, tomservo getting away with yet another Mega, looking for another rail as Astroboy is trying to get weapons at this point. He needs a rail, he needs a rocket. He's just trying to get some bread and butter here before he can even start to think about the fight, but he won't even have the chance.
Well, I think Astroboy made a mistake in letting things go over to this map here now, as this is looking rough for him now, as he's just getting utterly dominated on this map.
I mean, if he can keep these rails up, I mean, that would be great. But as we saw twice in a row, we saw that first champion pick being a Nyx v Anarchy, and here we go, we see it again. Again, he has a lot of opportunity to do something really clever here and force a fight, or at least evade a fight from Anarchy in the worst case. But right now, tomservo, as you can see, he's making the full use of that speed you can get and just covering the entire map.
Astroboy holding on now, looking for those long-range rail shots, missing him though, and look at this. tomservo just playing with them, dodging it out, and Astroboy trying to make the connections. It's just not going to happen though, so with that, tomservo is going to be able to win out the initial 1v1 there and take an advantage yet again. Only 30 seconds into the round, too.
Unfortunate for sure, but now we have a little bit of a tankier Ranger coming into play, and like you saw in the last map, or the last round rather, that Ranger didn't really stick around all that long. But we're going to have to see if these rails from tomservo are going to take him down quickly here at Mega, or if Astroboy is actually going to leave it up, go, okay, I need some 25s, I need some of the smaller armor, but man, every single shot coming out of tomservo is just pressuring Astroboy and forcing him into an unfavorable position.
And so there's the quick second kill coming out too, still under a minute into the round too. This has been so quick from Servo, not giving Astroboy any room to negotiate in these situations whatsoever. So now he's 1 kill away from QuakeCon if he can pick up this last frag, and it would be tomservo to take it. He's already got the 1-0 advantage from the previous map, and he's looking to take a quick 3-0 here if things continue the way they are. Astroboy on potentially his last champion in the tournament run here over to the Anarchy. We'll have to see what he can do with this.
Certainly one of the fastest Blood Covenants I've seen in a long time. Of course, we've seen matches on this map go for several minutes of overtime, but finally it looks like Astroboy's been able to evade the fight from tomservo, get stacked back up, at least on basic items here. But what we're seeing here so far is not a lot of retaliatory rails coming out of Astroboy. He's really got to start putting some of these hits together. The long-range combat is not going to be favoring him here, but maybe he can get in close. Oh, there's a nice rail as tomservo. Oh no, finally puts in that last nail for sure. And this time, I am not inaccurate when I say that he will be going to QuakeCon.
Yeah, so with that, we have our first North American player qualified now, moving in for DueL, of course, into QuakeCon, and that is going to be tomservo. So congratulations to him. He takes the set in a dominating fashion, 3-0 here on map number 2. Things are much closer back on map number 1.